Hello my friends, this is Dwight from Forest Glory 700 coming back at you with another video. Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? I always wanted to be a singer. Anyways, the point of that little gyration there was early this year, as it has impacted all of us, CV-19, the pandemic that just keeps on giving and just keeps on giving until it takes everything from us and enslaves us and throws us in the abyss of hell. I was supposed to go on vacation with my family earlier in March for the March break, a 2-week vacation. It was actually going to be a very big vacation. The first week we were going to go to Disney World. Now my daughter, she's 10 this year. She's gone to Disney World every year since she's 2 years old. So we were going to do Disney World because she loves Disney World. And then for the second week of our big vacation, we were going to actually go on a boat cruise. None of that happened because the lockdowns and the shutdowns and the restrictions and the shutdown of the entire world economy literally began days before I was supposed to go away on vacation. And all the resorts and all the places that we had planned to travel to, they locked down everything because they were forced to lock down by government officials who think they have absolutely every right to control us and to manipulate us to do whatever they want us to do because they know best. They're the technocrats, they're the experts, they're the ones with the brains, they're the ones with the intellect, and you and I don't know jack shit. That's it. We don't know jack all. You know what I mean? And so we just have to comply to whatever these morons tell us to do. So that was what I was supposed to do in March of 2020. A 2-week vacation, an enormous, big, wonderful vacation with my family. I was looking forward to it. It cost me a lot of money. Got my money back because there's no way I wasn't going to get my money back. I eventually got my money back 6 weeks later. Never went on vacation. Continued working with the company that I worked for through the vacation week, the 2-week vacation board I was supposed to go through, and just continued on and on and on. Now I'm coming up to a 2-week vacation in early November of this year, 2020. And I've already used up 2 weeks of my vacation. I have 5 weeks this year because I deferred 2 weeks from 2019. So 2020 was supposed to be a big year for vacation and relaxation and just having fun. And none of that's happened. So I've used up 2 of my weeks, the 2 weeks that I've been here in terms of my vacation weeks. The first week, didn't do anything. Second week, the first week I didn't do anything because my wife and my daughter went away. The second week we all went up to cottage country up in, Huntsville, Ontario. It was actually very nice. It was very relaxing. We didn't do much. It was just kind of relaxing out in cottage country, as they say. We just went out there and we just enjoyed the serene environment, the beauty of the land, the quietness, the little house on the prairie scenario. It was just beautiful. So I thought, okay, I have a 2-week vacation coming up, which is vacation week 3 and 4 of 5. And I thought to myself, I would like for us to actually go somewhere. And there are places that one can go. I was looking at Mexico, Cancun, Mexico, as a possible place to go to for vacation. Now, I realize that as a Canadian, as an individual that still resides in a country that allegedly is free but is losing all of our freedoms day by day. Thank you, Doug Ford. Thank you, John Tory. Thank you, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Thank you, you morons, for taking away all the freedoms of Canadians everywhere and the freedoms of so many other people, for leaders of other countries. You're all morons. That's all I'm getting at. So anyways, my thought is I would like to go away. I want to get out of Ontario. I want to get out of Canada. I want my family to actually enjoy some semblance of a vacation in 2020. And of course, we're all being deterred from doing that. We're all supposed to hunker down. We're all supposed to stay safe in our homes and stay 6 feet apart and social distance. And the more social distance you create between you and another human being, the more you're determining how virtuous you are and how you take this pandemic seriously because they told us it's serious, despite the fact that no one that we know of is dying. We're not surrounded by dead bodies. None of the events that they have predicted would occur has happened at all, because we're not actually under a health emergency crisis / pandemic. It doesn't exist. It's an absolute illusion. It is an absolute lie to bring about the New World Economic Order, the system of the beast, the one world government, the Great Reset. And those scum-sucking bastards that are running this system are also running our governments. So individuals like Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who couldn't lead himself out of a wet paper bag, is leading a free society like Canada, and we're going along by the dictates of this clown. I'm sorry, but he's an absolute clown. And you have other world leaders that they're all reading from the exact same script. So it doesn't matter where you go on this earth, they're all pretty much following the exact same script, which is under the New World Order, the United Nations mandate, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Sustainable Development, call it what you want. They're all following the exact same script, all at the exact same time, and they're willing to destroy the entire world economic system to bring about this new world order. And they're going to achieve it because everyone's fearful and everyone's scared and everyone's believing the nonsense that they presented to us, despite the fact that if you would just open up your eyes and look at reality and recognize that all your loved ones and pretty much everyone you know is still around and healthy and alive and functioning like they've always have, you'd realize that this is BS. But no, you suspend your thinking because you're not required to think. Under the technocrats, you don't think. You simply do as you're told. And for the most part, all of us are complying with that, with the exception of me. I just know it's BS. And there's a few number of us that also recognize it's BS, that are able to think for ourselves, which is what they don't want us to do. And we say this is pure BS, enough of this. But you have the overwhelming majority of the masses going along with this lie, believing this lie simply because those that are in authority, those that are in power, those that are the technocrats, those that are the experts tell us that we're in a pandemic. So suspend your ability to think, suspend reason, suspend common sense, suspend your ability just to look at reality for what it is. That is not reality. The reality is what they tell you it is. And the reality is we're under a pandemic, and that it is incumbent upon us to listen to those in authority, or we're all going to be dead in the next 24 to 48 hours. It's simply that serious, so we need to listen to them. So on to my story now. Back to vacation. Back to my vacation. So I went to work, and I spoke to a supervisor as I was in the parking lot of the place where I'm employed. Walking into work, I see a supervisor that I'm familiar with, and I was inquiring with him if I were to go out of the country on vacation, would I be required to quarantine for 2 weeks upon my return back to Canada. He confirmed my suspicions, which was yes, you'd be required to quarantine for 2 weeks, and that for those 2 weeks you would not be paid. That I knew, and I was perfectly fine with that, because at this point I'm so desperate to have normalcy. I want to have a normal life. I want to enjoy my vacation. I want to go where I please with my family to vacation and enjoy ourselves and to have a normal life, which is what they don't want us to have. That is why we're under this new term referred to as the new normal, which is basically another way of saying you're under the new world economic order, and what we determine for you is going to be your new reality. Period. And that's it. So you're going to wear a mask for the rest of your life. You're going to destroy your immune system. We're going to give you a vaccination, and that's going to finish you off at the end of the day. But until then, you do exactly as we tell you. So the supervisor clarified what I already knew, and I said, fine, you know what? I'm not too concerned about that. A 2-week vacation for me is worth not being paid for an additional 2 weeks upon my return, because I really want to have a vacation. I actually want to get out of Ontario, out of Canada, and actually go away and enjoy some quality time with my family somewhere else. And presently and currently, at least for now, that's something that as a Canadian, as a person that's supposed to be free, we all are able to do. That's why airlines are flying Canadians from one location to another and then back home to Canada again. But the thing that got me in regards to the supervisor, he told me that by my company mandate, that when you take time off, apart from your vacation time, the company has what they call, what do they call it again? Demand leave. And demand leave basically means that the company will assess whether or not that time that you took away from your scheduled work schedule, whether or not it was justifiable or not. Demand leave basically means that you were not justified in taking time off from work. So he explained to me that not only would you not get paid for the 2 weeks, which I'm perfectly fine with, but that for those 2 weeks that you're forced to be quarantined, not that you've chosen to quarantine yourself, but you've been forced by the government and your employer supports that, that you would also, that 2 weeks would also apply as a demand leave. And I thought, okay, that's absolutely absurd. I accept the fact that I will not be paid for 2 weeks because I know that in advance. That's not an issue. But I do have a right to go away on vacation, whether it's a staycation or an actual vacation where you leave your province and enter into another province, or in my case, contemplating leaving the country to go to another country to enjoy your time with your family. That is a right that we still have. So he said to me, and this explains, he's one of the problems, because he agrees with the system. He's the kind of person that will kiss the boots, as it were, of whoever those that are in authority over him tell him to do. And he will do it gladly. You know, he'll pucker up and kiss until there's no tomorrow. So he basically said, well, okay, look, you have a right. He acknowledged I have a right to leave the country. But he also said, well, okay, don't leave the country. He basically said, stay. Don't go anywhere. Stay where you are. Stay in the province. Whatever. Don't leave the country. Because if you do, not only are you not going to get paid for the 2 weeks, which I totally understand and I totally accept, but I don't accept also having on my file a demand leave, because what am I supposed to do? If I show up to work the day following my vacation, when I'm scheduled to work, which I could do, are they going to allow me to work? Oh, no, they won't, because Big Daddy government says that you have to quarantine for 2 weeks, because the government doesn't answer to the people. We, the people, answer to the government. That's how it works in a democratic or so-called free society. Right, everyone? Right? You're right. We're right on this, right? Okay, good. Just wanted to be sure. So when he said that, he and I kind of went back and forth because it made no sense to me. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Right? I'm entitled to go away on vacation, which I'm contemplating doing. I'm willing to not be paid for the 2 weeks. I recognize that's a natural consequence of leaving the country. It's basically a deterrent. But now you're basically saying we're going to add to that deterrent a second strike against you by putting down a demand leave that basically for that 2 week quarantine, you could have worked, but you chose not to work. And I'm like, I'm entitled to go on a vacation. Either way, this stuff is absolutely absurd. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. They want total control over us. This is simply a vacation. I'm entitled to go away on a vacation. But under the new normal, under this draconian system, they want us to be absolutely miserable. Quite literally. Because I do want to get out of the country. I want to actually go away and actually have a vacation. But it's like I said at the beginning of the video. Should I stay or should I go? Right? If I go, there's penalties on top of penalties on top of penalties simply for being a free human being. So this stuff is absolutely absurd. Should I stay or should I go? Right now, it certainly looks like I'm going to go. I'm looking at the cost for going to Mexico, and the prices, which may not be surprising pretty much to everybody, is it's absolutely dirt cheap. Because obviously most people are staying home and they're complying with the protocols that their government officials who are stabbing them in the back have determined is necessary to keep everyone safe from a virus that has a recovery rate of 99.999999% and going on until the cows come home, which they'll never come home. That's the whole point. Cows don't come home because they don't have no sense to come home. So anyways, this is just me ranting and raving, but also pointing out the absolute discrepancy in terms of what they say and what they want us to do. So this is Dwight from For His Glory saying, live your life, be a free person, and recognize that governments exist to answer for the people, answer to the people, not the other way away, not the other way around. This is Dwight from For His Glory, wishing you all a great day. Take care and be blessed. Goodbye.